All right, so ready to ditch the ChatGPT hype and actually use AI to improve your business? We're diving deep into enterprise AI with a real pro, Dr. Marcel Mueller. He's been building these systems for companies, big and small, and he's got some great insights to share.
It's interesting how differently AI is being adopted compared to, other tech trends in the past. It's not consultants pushing it. It's employees like you driving this change. You see the potential and you're ready to experiment.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really fascinating.
Dr. Mueller calls this the ChatGPT moment. You've probably played with it, seen what it can do, and now you're wondering how to actually use it in your work, and that's what we're going to break down today.
Think of it like this. That ChatGPT moment, it's just the first step in the journey. Dr. Mueller breaks the whole journey into four distinct stages of enterprise AI adoption.
Okay, cool. So let's walk through those stages. First, you have that initial ChatGPT moment where, everyone's excited, trying things out. But it's important to note, this is still a small percentage of people actually using AI in their work.
Exactly. That's why the next stage is so important. It's about exploration. Companies start building those proof of concept projects. And often, it's employees with no formal AI background who are leading this charge. They know the business, they see the problems, and they're diving in with tools like ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot to see what's possible.
This is where those aha moments happen, right? You start to see how AI can solve problems, create value.
You got it. You start to see that those simple chatbots, they're not enough. This leads to the third stage, what Dr. Mueller calls productization. Here, the focus shifts to integrating AI into those existing systems. So you need to consider your company's data, compliance, security. It gets a lot more complex for sure.
And that leads us to the final stage, scaling. Now you're managing tons of AI applications, need the right skills on your team, and a central platform to keep it all running smoothly.
Yeah, think of it this way. You wouldn't run your business from a bunch of separate spreadsheets, right? You need a unified system. That's where the AI operating system comes in.
Okay, so this AI operating system, it's like the central nervous system for all your AI tools and applications. This is starting to sound pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is. Imagine having one platform that connects all your AI models to your existing systems. Your data, workflows, security protocols. It's not just about the models themselves. It's about how they all work together seamlessly within your company.
So it's not just tech, it's about building a system that works for your specific business.
Exactly. And a good AI operating system, it has a few key requirements.
All right, let's hear them. What should you look for in an AI operating system?
So first, you need a strong foundation. It's got to connect to your existing systems. Data, governance policies, compliance requirements, everything. You can't ignore your existing infrastructure.
Right, you can't build a house on a shaky foundation.
Yeah, exactly. Next, you need model orchestration. Think of it like a conductor leading an orchestra, but with AI models instead of musicians. It means being able to try different models, swap them in and out, choose the best one for each task based on cost and performance.
So you're not stuck with one expensive AI model when a simpler, cheaper one might do the job.
That's right. You want that flexibility and efficiency. And here's another critical thing: rigorous testing and validation. This is so important with AI models that aren't always predictable, where the same input might not always give you the exact same output.
Wait, so some AI models are unpredictable? How does that work?
It's technical, but basically some models have some randomness built in. Imagine an AI that helps you write marketing emails.
Yeah.
Even with the same input, product details, target audience, it might generate slightly different emails each time.
Got it. So you need thorough testing to make sure those results are consistent and high quality.
You got it. And finally, your AI operating system has to be user-friendly. It needs to minimize that onboarding overhead, be easy for your team to use. You don't want a system only a handful of AI experts can use.
So make AI accessible to everyone, not just the tech geniuses.
Exactly. And when you have a user-friendly system, you cut down on the complexity and make it easier for everyone to benefit from AI's potential.
Awesome. This all sounds great in theory, but let's get real. Dr. Mueller actually went through a practical example of building an AI application. Something tangible we can all relate to.
He did. He used the example of building an invoice control application.
Yeah.
I know, not the sexiest topic, but invoices are a pain for so many businesses.
Tell me about it. So much time wasted chasing approvals, matching invoices to orders. How does AI help with that?
Imagine you're the CFO, drowning in invoices. AI can automate a lot of that tedious work. It can pull key data from invoices, vendor names, amounts, invoice numbers. It can even figure out who needs to approve each one.
So it's like a superpowered data entry clerk that can also track down the right person for approval.
That's a great way to put it. But it gets even more interesting. It's not just one AI doing everything. It's a team of specialized AIs working in a workflow.
Okay, so like a coordinated team, each member with their own expertise. What kind of specialized AIs are we talking about?
Well, you might have one using OCR to grab the text from the invoice, another that uses text completion to actually understand what that text means, and then one that searches your company database to figure out who needs to sign off on it.
Like a chain reaction, each AI handing off the information to the next.
Exactly. And the beauty of it is the AI operating system orchestrates all this behind the scenes. You don't need to be a programmer to build this invoice application.
So how would someone who's not a coding whiz actually build this?
Dr. Mueller showed how simple it can be. You use pre-built templates and workflows within the AI operating system. Upload your invoices, tell the system how your departments are structured, and the AI handles the rest.
That's wild. But is this just for simple tasks like invoices? Can you build more complex AI applications?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, Dr. Mueller then moved on to a more sophisticated example. He talked about building a partner matching application for a law firm.
Okay, that sounds really useful. I'm sure they get tons of client requests, each needing a very specific area of legal expertise. How would AI help with that?
Let's say a client emails needing a lawyer who specializes in venture capital and cryptocurrency law.
Pretty specific. So how does the AI find the right person?
The AI operating system scans the entire partner database, analyzes their profiles, areas of expertise, and then
Finds the perfect match.
exactly. It can even draft a response to the client recommending the top choices, all within minutes.
Incredible. Like an army of legal matchmakers working 24/7.
It really is. This shows how AI can streamline complex processes, even in fields like law where expertise is key. It's not just automation, it's intelligent decision-making.
So a whole range of AI applications you can build, from automating tasks to supporting high-level decisions.
Exactly. And Dr. Mueller highlighted three main types of AI applications you can build with this platform. Process automation, knowledge retrieval, and AI editors. We talked about process automation with the invoice example, but knowledge retrieval is equally powerful.
Okay, what's knowledge retrieval?
Think of it as a supercharged search engine, but for your company. Imagine instantly finding the exact document or info you need from all your company data. No more digging through endless files.
That would save so much time and frustration. And what about those AI editors? What do they do?
AI editors can help you create and refine different types of content. Emails, reports, presentations, even code. It's like a virtual assistant, helping you write better, faster, more effectively.
Wow, the possibilities are mind-blowing. So it sounds like there's a lot to consider when it comes to building enterprise AI.
There is, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Dr. Mueller emphasized that building successful AI, it's not about magic. It's about taking a systems thinking approach.
What's that mean, systems thinking?
It means understanding your processes, choosing the right tools, focusing on the user experience, building an AI system that works seamlessly with what you already have, not just implementing some fancy new tech for the sake of it.
So have a clear strategy and make sure tech serves your business goals, not the other way around.
Precisely. And if you're thinking about implementing AI in your business, Dr. Mueller's advice is clear. Start with the platform approach. Don't get caught up in the hype of individual models. Focus on the specific problems you're trying to solve and build from there.
That's great advice. We've covered a lot of ground here. From the early stages of AI adoption to the power of AI operating systems and building practical applications.
There you have.
Before we go further, I want to connect back with you, our listener. We've talked about a lot, and I'm curious, what's standing out to you so far?
You know, it's fascinating how this shift towards platform thinking really kind of mirrors what we've seen in other tech areas. Remember when everyone had separate MP3 players and then the iPod came along and just changed the game?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It wasn't just a better MP3 player. It was like a whole ecosystem. iTunes, the store, easy syncing. It simplified everything.
That's a great analogy. And I think we're seeing something similar with AI. Instead of all these separate AI point solutions, companies are like, wait a minute, we need a unified platform to bring it all together.
And that's where that AI operating system comes in. But you mentioned Dr. Mueller talked about some companies making the mistake of just handing out ChatGPT accounts to everyone and expecting magic to happen. What do you mean by that?
Oh, yeah, he called that the 20,000 ChatGPT licenses problem. That's like a classic example of what happens when you focus on the tool, not the process. It's like giving everyone a set of fancy chef knives, but no recipes or ingredients, no training.
Yeah, that's the perfect analogy. You can have the best tools, but without a plan, you're just going to end up with a mess.
Exactly. And that's why he really emphasized how important user experience is when designing these AI systems. If your AI tools are clunky, confusing, hard to use, people just aren't going to use them.
Right, like those complicated software systems companies spend tons of money on, and no one uses them because they're just too difficult.
Exactly, and that's the last thing you want with AI. You want your team to be excited to use these tools, not, afraid of them. So when you're choosing an AI platform, make sure it's designed with the user in mind, the person actually using it.
So ease of use is just as important as the technical capabilities.
Absolutely. And it goes beyond just the interface. You got to think, how does this AI system fit into the workflows they already have?
Yeah.
How will people actually use this in their day-to-day work?
Designing for humans, not just algorithms.
Precisely. And this brings us back to that whole AI operating system idea. It's about creating that seamless, user-friendly experience so anyone in your company can benefit from AI, regardless of their technical skills.
So it's about democratizing AI.
Exactly. AI shouldn't be this thing only accessible to, a few data scientists or engineers. It should be a tool everyone can use to make their work better and more efficient.
That makes sense. But where do you even start? If you're a business leader who wants to bring AI into your company, what's the first step?
Well, Dr. Mueller really emphasized this. First, you got to clearly define your objectives. What specific problems are you trying to solve with AI? What are your goals?
So don't just jump on the AI bandwagon because it's the cool thing to do. Have a plan, have a purpose.
Right. And once you understand those objectives, you can start looking at, different AI platforms and solutions. There are a lot out there, so it's important to do your research, find the right fit for your needs, and, of course, your budget.
I imagine there's a bit of a learning curve to all of this.
There is. You'll need to develop some new skills in areas like data science, model management, and workflow orchestration, for example. But, the good news is you don't have to become an AI expert overnight.
That's good to hear. So what are some resources people can use to, get up to speed?
Oh, there are tons of online courses and training programs available. You can even find consultants who specialize in helping companies implement AI solutions.
Yeah.
And, of course, there are, amazing podcasts out there that can provide valuable insights.
Hey, gotta plug the show. But seriously, it sounds like there's a lot of support for businesses wanting to adopt AI.
Yeah, absolutely. The key is to be proactive. Seek out that knowledge. Surround yourself with people who can help you along the way.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. AI in the enterprise, it's an ongoing process. Learning, adapting, and refining.
Okay, so let's talk about those potential rewards. We touched on efficiency, but what are some other benefits of bringing AI into your business?
The potential is huge. AI can help improve efficiency, boost productivity, enhance customer experiences. You can even create entirely new business opportunities.
Wow, so it's not just cutting costs, it's about growing your business in new ways.
Exactly. But it's important to be realistic. AI is not some magic solution that's going to solve all your problems overnight.
Right, it's a powerful tool, but still just a tool. You have to use it strategically.
Precisely. And with the right approach, AI can unlock some incredible value for businesses of all sizes.
I like how Dr. Mueller used that invoice control example. It's such a common pain point, and AI offers a clear way to streamline that process.
It's a great example of how AI can automate those tedious tasks, reduce errors, and free up your team to focus on more, strategic work.
And it's not just about saving time and money, it's about accuracy and compliance, too.
Absolutely. AI can help you avoid those costly mistakes and make sure you're meeting those regulatory requirements.
So it's a win-win.
In many ways it is. But of course, there are always challenges. And one of the biggest that Dr. Mueller highlighted was testing and validation.
Right. You can't just set up an AI system and assume it's going to work perfectly. You got to make sure it's accurate and reliable.
Exactly. And that's where rigorous testing comes in. You need to validate those AI outputs, identify any biases, and make sure it's performing as expected.
So putting the AI through its paces, seeing how it performs in different situations.
Exactly. And it's also crucial to involve those human experts. You need people who can review those outputs, give feedback, make sure the results align with your business goals and, ethical standards.
So combine human intelligence and artificial intelligence.
Exactly. It's about leveraging both, to create a system that's better than either one alone. And this is where that AI operating system concept really shines. A well-designed AI operating system will have those built-in tools and processes for testing, validation, and continuous improvement. It's not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process of monitoring, analyzing, refining your systems to make sure they're always performing at their best.
So just like any other important business system, you need to keep an eye on it, make sure it's running smoothly and delivering those results.
That's a great way to put it. And just like any complex system, you need the right people, processes, and tools to manage it effectively.
Okay, so we talked about having a strategy, defining your objectives, choosing the right platform, and focusing on user experience and testing. Is there anything else business leaders should keep in mind as they start their AI journey?
One thing Dr. Mueller really emphasized was a process-driven approach to AI.
What's that mean? Process-driven.
It means breaking those big, complex problems down into smaller, more manageable steps. And then you kind of orchestrate those steps into a seamless workflow. Think of it like building a well-oiled machine, where each part has a specific job.
And the AI operating system is like the blueprint for that machine, providing the structure and the connections to make sure everything runs smoothly.
Exactly. And this process-driven approach is essential to make sure your AI stuff aligns with your overall business strategy and that you're able to actually measure its impact and show its value.
Yeah, you need to be able to track your progress and make sure those AI investments are actually paying off.
Absolutely. And one of the best things about AI is its ability to generate all this data and these insights. It can help you continuously improve and make better decisions.
So it's like a feedback loop, helping you learn and adapt.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it. And the more you use AI, the more data you get and the smarter your systems become.
A virtuous cycle.
Exactly. But like with any powerful technology, there are ethical things to consider.
Yeah, that's important. And there's a lot of talk these days about the ethics of AI.
There is. And as we keep developing and using more sophisticated AI systems, we have to do it responsibly.
So what are some key ethical things business leaders should be thinking about?
Well, one of the biggest concerns is bias. You know, the potential for AI to make existing biases even worse. These systems are trained on data, and if that data is biased, the AI is going to reflect that in its output.
So it's not just the tech, it's the data feeding it.
Exactly. That's why it's so important to be careful about what data you use to train these AI systems and to always be on the lookout for potential bias.
So what can businesses do to address bias in their AI?
Well, there are a few things you can do. First, be mindful of the data you're collecting and how you're labeling it. Make sure your data sets are diverse and represent the people you're serving.
So don't just train your AI on data from one small group, expose it to a wide range of perspectives.
Yeah, exactly. And you also need to be aware of potential bias in the algorithms themselves. Some are more prone to bias than others, so choose carefully.
So there's a technical side to this too. It's not just the data, but how that data is processed.
Right. And finally, human oversight is crucial. Don't just blindly trust what the AI tells you. Have people there to check the outputs, give feedback, and make sure everything's good.
So it's about AI and human experts working together.
Exactly. It's about combining both to make sure things are done right. And again, this is where that AI operating system idea comes in.
How so?
Well, a good AI operating system will have those built-in tools for testing, validation, and continuous improvement. It's not a set it and forget it thing, you know? It's about always making sure your AI is performing at its best.
Like a car, you got to do regular maintenance to keep it running smoothly.
That's a great way to put it. And just like with a car, you need the right people, processes, and tools to do that maintenance effectively.
All right, so we talked about having a strategy, setting goals, choosing the right platform, focusing on user experience, testing, and being aware of bias. Anything else business leaders should keep in mind?
Dr. Mueller talked about having a process-driven approach to AI, which I think is really important.
What exactly does that mean?
It means breaking down those complicated AI problems into smaller, easier to manage steps. And then organizing those steps into a smooth workflow. Like, think of it like assembling a car on an assembly line. Each step has to happen in the right order at the right time.
And the AI operating system is like the assembly line itself, making sure everything flows smoothly and efficiently.
Exactly. And this process-driven approach is so important because it makes sure your AI projects align with your overall business strategy. And it helps you measure the results and prove the value of what you're doing.
You got to be able to show those results, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the cool things about AI is that it can generate a ton of data and insights that can help you constantly improve.
Like having a built-in feedback mechanism.
Exactly. And as you use AI more and more, you get more data and your systems become even smarter.
It's like a snowball effect, building momentum as it goes.
Precisely.
Yeah.
But of course, like with any powerful tool, we need to be careful about how we use it. There are ethical considerations to keep in mind.
Right, we were just talking about the potential for bias. What other ethical issues are there with AI?
Well, there are a lot of concerns around privacy and data security, for example.
Yeah.
AI systems often rely on large amounts of data, and it's important to make sure that data is handled responsibly and ethically.
So protecting people's privacy is paramount.
Absolutely. You need to have clear guidelines and policies in place for how you collect, store, and use data. And you need to be transparent with people about what data you're collecting and why.
Transparency and trust, those are essential.
They really are. And it's not just about following the rules and regulations. It's about doing what's right, even when it's not easy.
So ethical AI is about more than just checking boxes. It's about doing the right thing, even when no one's looking.
Exactly. And I think it's something that everyone involved in AI, from the developers to the business leaders, needs to be thinking about.
So we've talked about a lot of important considerations for businesses looking to implement AI: strategy, process, ethics, user experience, and so on. But I'm curious, what about for the individual listener? What if I'm not a CEO or a data scientist? How can I prepare for this AI-powered future?
That's a great question. And I think the most important thing is to stay curious and keep learning. AI is a rapidly evolving field, and there are new developments happening all the time.
So embrace lifelong learning.
Exactly. Read books, take online courses, attend webinars, experiment with different AI tools.
Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and try things out.
Yeah, the more you learn about AI, the better equipped you'll be to navigate this new world and take advantage of the opportunities it presents.
And it's not just about technical skills.
Right. You also need to develop those critical thinking skills, those problem-solving skills. You need to be able to think creatively and adapt to new situations.
So those soft skills are just as important as the technical ones.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that's often overlooked in the AI conversation.
So, to wrap up, for our listeners out there, don't be intimidated by AI. Embrace it. Stay curious, keep learning, and remember that the future is what we make it.
Well said. And remember, AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. It's up to us to make sure we use it wisely and responsibly.
Well, that's a great thought to leave our listeners with. What are some of the biggest questions you have about AI in the enterprise? Share your thoughts with us, and maybe we'll do another deep dive.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. Makes you think, huh? I think that's what makes this whole topic so fascinating. It's really pushing us to think differently about work, about how we make decisions, even what it means to, be human.
Yeah, I agree. And the crazy thing is, we're still just at the beginning of this whole AI thing. There's still so much to discover. The possibilities are just endless.
Dr. Mueller actually said something that I think really speaks to that. He said, AI isn't just like a technology, it's a reflection of us. Yeah, that's a powerful thought. I mean, these systems are made by humans, trained on human data,
Yeah.
designed to solve our problems. So, whatever values or biases we put into these systems, they're going to shape the future of AI.
It's a big responsibility. We're not just building tools, we're shaping the future. And it's up
Yeah.
to all of us, business leaders, developers, policymakers, even everyday people, to make sure AI is used for good.
Absolutely. And that starts with just having these open conversations about the good and the bad of AI. We gotta talk to each other, challenge our own ideas, and work together to make a future where AI helps everyone.
It's about finding that balance, right, between all this innovation and responsibility.
Exactly. And the more we understand about AI, the better we'll be able to handle all these complex issues and really create a future that benefits all of us.
What I found encouraging in Dr. Miller's presentation was how much he emphasized the human side of all this. He talked about how important it is to have human oversight, human judgment, and human values guiding this whole AI development process.
Yeah, he was very clear about that. AI should help us, not replace us. It's got to be a partnership where both sides, humans and machines, bring their own strengths to the table.
Find ways for AI to make us better, not obsolete.
Exactly. And there are so many ways that AI can do that. Think about it. AI tools that help us make smarter decisions, solve those really complex problems, even unleash our creativity in new and exciting ways.
I like that, AI helping us reach our full potential. But how do we get there? What can business leaders actually do to make sure their AI projects are aligned with these human-centered values?
Well, I think it starts with building a culture of, responsible AI. Within your company, I mean. It means creating an environment where everyone understands how important the ethical stuff is. data privacy, human oversight.
So it's more than just ticking boxes on a checklist. It's about a culture where people feel like they can speak up about ethical concerns and be a part of shaping how AI is used.
Yeah, exactly. And it also means, investing in training. Make sure your team has the skills and knowledge to develop and use AI in the right way.
Give them the tools and the confidence to use this technology responsibly.
Right. And be transparent with everyone. Your customers, your employees, your investors, let them know how you're using AI and what you're doing to make sure it's ethical.
Transparency builds trust, and that's super important for any tech that can impact people's lives.
Couldn't agree more. And at the end of the day, I think how successful AI is going to depend on how well we can build trust and collaboration between people and these machines.
So it's not us versus them, it's about working together.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I think that's a really hopeful way to look at it.
it is. As we wrap up this deep dive into the world of enterprise AI, I want to leave you with one final thought. Dr. Mueller talked about how important it is to never stop learning and adapting, especially when it comes to AI. And that's something we can all do in our own lives, in our work.
That's true. AI is changing all the time. And if we want to keep up, we got to keep learning.
So whether you're a CEO, a data scientist, or just curious about tech, never stop learning, never stop asking questions, and never stop pushing the limits of what AI can do.
And you don't have to do it alone. There's a whole community of people out there. AI experts, researchers, folks who are passionate about that stuff, and they're ready to share what they know.
It's about supporting each other and learning from, both our successes and our mistakes.
Absolutely. And that's one of the coolest things about being part of the AI world. It's all about collaboration and helping each other out.
Well said. We want to thank you for joining us on this deep dive into enterprise AI. We hope you find it helpful and maybe even a little inspiring.
Yeah, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and be a part of the conversation that's shaping the future of AI.
And as always, we want to hear from you. What are you thinking? What questions do you have? Share your thoughts with us, and maybe we'll do another deep dive on this topic soon. Until next time.